myself the words you couldn't say.
Indie Music Live, it's episode 10. What am I doing? 118, 118. Get my math straight. I'm JoeJoeKeys, and we're on a different night because I was in burning hell on Tuesday night with a horrible, absolutely horrible fever. And I was like laying in my bed, but it was kind of like a bathtub. And I couldn't do the show. And then I hit up Rob, and I was like, Rob, I can't be there tonight. And Dave was going to have to do it by himself. And then Rob was like, dude, I'm really sick too. So we got to move the night. So we had to move the nights. It's tonight. So welcome, everybody. It's a random Thursday night with Indie Music Live. I'm sitting here with Dave, and he is in the heavens.
Yeah, a little bright. It's early here. But yeah, it's if we just totally skip a show, it just messes everything up because we got, set list and everything. So, but yeah, Joe, like I told you, I just want to say a quick word, man. There's just some stuff in the news. I think we're going to get more into it next week because we got a tight schedule. But I'm sure some people have heard of the Diamond and Silk mentions in Zuckerberg's hearing at Congress, man. It's like a lot of the senators are bringing up Diamond and Silk and their Facebook page and their live streams and everything. Their producer is Rob Hicks. That's our producer, man. So he's kind of like sucked into the whole buzz of what's going on there, which is pretty interesting. And I have a bunch of thoughts on the whole like censorship issue which is in the middle of the hot topic of what they're talking about and everything. And yeah, I want to talk about that for a few minutes, but next week, man. So yeah.
Rob is a busy guy. Robert Hicks at Hixvideo. He's a busy guy. He's got another show coming up a little bit later because again, this is an off night. So we're gonna make this a shotgun show, if you will, a shorty but a quick shorty but a goodie, I guess. I'm tripping over your words. And we have Gerry Dantone of UniversalDice, who recently had a review on our website. Such good music, I decided to feature him, make him a featured artist. So he's here hanging out in the green room. We're gonna be talking to him in just a few minutes. First off, let's go ahead and get right to the music. Let us know what you think of this song in the comments. We're going to listen to the Pesky Snakes with I Need You, and we'll be right back.
Countless days I'm alone and lonely. I need you to be beside me, but you're away, I don't know what to do. I need you, but you're just so far away. I need you, and I think you need me too. And now it's hit me, is there nothing more that I can do? Are you still with me? I wonder if there is somebody new. I need you, you're just so far away. I need you, I think you need me too. Surely you know, by now. And baby, it's true, oh how I feel about you. Countless days I'm alone and lonely. I need you to be beside me, but you're away.
The Pesky Snakes with I Need You. I'm JoeJoeKeys, sitting here with David, the Lord Werba.
Yeah.
In
From
heaven.
the heavens.
So I like this kind of music a lot. These guys, they're not like super huge or anything like that. I don't have like a major social media presence or anything, but their music really struck me. I rolled in from teaching right before the show, so I didn't really have time to review the music. Last I remember, I listened to it, really smooth, nice harmonies, and a kind of a nice, funky little bit of a vibe. What do you think, Dave?
Man, I was really digging the composition of this, like the outside the vocals, the production, this minimalist sound starts off with what sounds like a fretless bass, which I love. I love that, just, blending up of notes. And just the fact that it was highlighted in the intro, it's kind of rare. I'd always love to hear more of that. But this type of song, man, I had this interesting kind of viewpoint, because I think the music would work with like 1,000 different singers. It's like it's open to so many different vocal styles that I think could fit into this song. And I think the vocals, they were nice. I just, that's the one piece I just wanted to, I don't know what it was, man. I wanted to maybe hear more feeling in his like delivery or something. There's just something really small missing in this tune, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but I like their next album, man.
Well, we have a time constraint, so you're not going to be able to. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and listen to the next song before we bring on Gerry, Dantone of UniversalDice. I think the man is UniversalDice, pretty much. This is Plastogenia. See, I'm getting good at reading, Dave. I'm getting good at reading and pronouncing the words. Plastogenia with MULTIVERSI. Let us know what you think. We'll be right back in 2 minutes. Indie Music Live, episode 108 on a random Thursday night. Normal time is Tuesday nights, 10 o'clock Eastern time. Since we're on a random night, our panel guest, Ben Cote, could not be here because he is a huge, busy rock star in the area of Berkeley and the whole Boston area and stuff. So thank you, everybody, for joining us here on the live stream and on the replay. You can always comment on the replay, remember, and let us know what you think of the music we're listening to. That was Plastogenia with multiversi. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, Dave.
Yeah, multiverse. I mean, it's like a futuristic landscape. I'm wondering if these guys are into, like, 3D graphics and gaming landscapes. I just have a feeling maybe that's their like day job or something, because there's elements to that video that are super cool, which is the graphics and even the sound, you know, it's like kind of like a, you know, Moby influence or something, but the electronica and just their vision of futuristic sound in some way. And it was cool. I was digging it. But again, like similar to the first tune, but more exaggerated. I think their take on the vocal influence in this tune, I think detracts a little to this, like the scene that they're trying to create, just because it's a little shaky. You know, it's almost like Mr. Roboto present day or something, but it just didn't quite work for me, the vocal aspect of this tune. I think they should spend more time on that part so that it's brought up to the level of all the other music behind it in terms of production quality. Other than that, I love it, man. It's cool what they're doing.
Cool. So we're on a quick show tonight. We're fitting it all into 30 minutes flat. So we're going to bring in the featured artist a little earlier than normal. I'd like to introduce Gerry Dantone off of Long Island, correct, sir?
Yeah.
And he is the band UniversalDice, and we did a review about them recently. And the song Your Son really stuck out to me. I really liked some of the changes that you have in that song and just the overall feel of it. So that was one of my favorite songs. So we're going to be playing that in a minute. But if you could just, Gerry, introduce UniversalDice to people who may have never heard of you and let us know sort of your elevator pitch about your music, and then tell us a little bit about Your Son, and then we'll come back and get deeper with Dave.
Yeah, we're a band. I write the songs, basically all the songs now. We started out in 1995, believe it or not. And we issued our first rock opera in 1995.
That's like 3 years ago.
Yeah, we're old. Another album in 2000, another one in 2005, and then this one came out late last year, early or middle of the year. I like writing songs that have a purpose. I like to, know why I'm writing the damn song. If I don't have a reason to write the song, I just don't write the song. This album, I wanted to get motivated, so I thought I'd have a story, a rock opera, and that usually helps. If I have a story, then I can write songs that tell the story, and so that was the way I wrote this song, and that's always the first step, is to have a point to what you're doing. And so this album was going to be about love, and so I had a love story between a young guy and a girl, and they're troubled. They had a troubled upbringing and life, and they found each other. And I actually asked myself, what would Shakespeare do? And the answer was, one of them's going to have to die. And so that was the answer. So I had to have a tragedy, and the tragedy had to be due to the one of the good characteristics of the character. That's what tragedy is. Something that is a positive turns into a negative, and there's the tragedy. Cool. And so that's the story inside the CD. The lyrics are actually in the CD if you ever bought it, and they're on the website, so you can actually follow it along, and you can follow the story as well. So,
sweet. So let's go ahead and we'll listen to a snippet of Your Son. If you want to hear the entire song, go check it out on the UniversalDice website, and we'll be right back and get deeper with Dave.
From the moment I existed, you were trying to deny me. The more I look toward you, the more you turned away. The drugs, the men, the money, the things I thought were normal, the way I always saw myself, the words you couldn't say. And the more that I believe you, the less that you would tell me. And when I asked you to give me a world of make-believe, and if I went to reach out, you'd only say I hurt you. And when I tried to trust you, the more you would deceive.
Deeper with Dave. Deeper with Dave. Oh, yeah.
Sponsored by...
So we almost did like a full interview in the green room, you know, before the show, just like going through your history and everything. And it'd probably help if you had some experience with this like video production and, you know, music. Like if you worked at MTV or something, that would probably help. But did you work at any type of company like that?
No, just MTV.
Oh, just MTV. All right, let's start. So you worked, I'm just messing around like I usually do. Yeah, so Gerry worked at MTV in finance. You want to talk about your experience there, man?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I was there the day they pitched it.
Hey, Gerry, can you drop down? Just lower yourself a little. There we go. Cool.
I was there. They pitched it to the owners of the company, which were American Express and Warner Communications. And it was pitched to American Express. The chairman had no idea what music, you know, anything about music, nothing. And so they gave him a series of videos and some, you know, Olivia Newton-John and so on and so forth. And a lot of the videos were things that they thought he would like and approve of. But
is this like 1980?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right.
And that he would approve of and he would like, but they would never actually show on MTV. So they got the approval. They launched it. I forget if it was 81 or 82 or 83, but I was there for the launch. I think it was in August 1st or July 1st, one of those many years ago. And it got off the air and it got on the air. And my job was to create the budgets for MTV and Nickelodeon and the Movie Channel. Those are the three networks.
You talk about like individual video budgets for like each single video, or just
for the network?
For the network as a whole.
Yes, for the whole network.
Wow.
Yeah, not for the videos. They didn't make the videos. They used the video that record companies gave them. They were that was when they were negotiating with record companies for the rights to the videos. That was that stage, and so that worked out all right. I mean, the budgets were on budget. I mean, they made sense, and it was an interesting thing.
Man. I mean, it's like you said you had an MBA in finance. That's kind of how you got in the door there and everything.
Yeah, obviously, to run the finance, you needed some credentials, and that was my credentials. What was interesting is that at MTV and that whole network, there were no musicians or creative persons in the company except for maybe a couple of peons like me, and I was in finance. So the people who were making the creative decisions were just businessmen, and they were not the most savvy about rock and roll music at all. In fact, they knew nothing, but they made the decisions on how it went for how it was going to be.
Man, I feel like there's got to be like another 100 stories about just what was going on behind the scenes there in the early days.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, let's break down your music, man, just because we got a tight show tonight. When we actually reviewed this tune a few weeks back, and like I mentioned to you, I had some critical aspects, which were just some choppy moments with the acoustic and the drums at points. And what we were talking about before the show was interesting. Like, I want people to understand how you produce your songs. And I can't believe that those were patches. So those are actually drum loops from famous drummers.
Yes.
And just why don't you talk about how you piece everything together? I think people will want to know that.
The first thing you do when I record a song, the first thing I do is the drums. I mean, the song is written. I know how to play it on the acoustic guitar, but obviously I don't lay down the acoustic guitar first because that would be chaos,
right?
Basically. So what I do is I get one of my 40 or 50 drum loop CDs, and there might be 1,000 different patterns on this. Mick Fleetwood is one of my favorites. A drum loop. This is made by Sonic Foundry. This is owned by Sony, I guess, nowadays. And it's a acidized drum loops. They are perfect in time. Obviously, they wouldn't release this unless each drum loop was perfectly in time, because they can make if it wasn't perfectly in time, they can make it in time by just adjusting the length of the loop. And so each loop is basically perfect, and this is a heck of a great one.
No, I've brought up Mick Fleetwood before just because of his playing style. It just I mean, it's so simple, yet he throws his accents what you'd think is like 2 measures late from what most people would. And it's just like, wait, the end of the chorus was 2 measures ago. You just threw the crash right in the middle of the but it worked. He makes it work. It's his own style.
A genius with the hi-hat.
Yeah.
And if you just want to keep a beat, he's making it so much more interesting than you could ever do with a drum machine or with MIDI or anything else. There's nothing to beat a human being playing the drums. And so I used Mick Fleetwood quite a bit, and I think it was Tony Brock on this song, but it can't be beat. So then I know how the song goes, so I picked the most appropriate drum loop out of the 1,000 for each bar, and so bar by bar, and then sometimes you repeat them because it's a groove, and then after I have the whole song put together as a drum pattern, and it's recorded to my computer, I use Sonar. Then I play my acoustic guitar to it. And then the bass player comes over, he hears the acoustic guitar, and I also probably throw a scratch vocal on there, and he does the bass guitar. And so now we have drums and bass, maybe a scratch guitar, or maybe it's a keeper, probably a scratch vocal, and now I get the rest of the guys come in. If I need another guitar, I'll do it. If I have Bob, my guitar player, Bob Barkus, he'll do a lead guitar. We have keyboard players. Walter is on this one, Walter Sargent. On other songs, there's Vinnie Creasy. And the bass player happened to be Eddie Canova. So it's all piece by piece and layer by layer we put together the songs. Okay,
cool, man. One more thing I want to cover, and we have to cut this short. It kills me. There's like 5 more questions I have for you. We're going to have you back. But anyway, in terms, like, the other thing I really noticed about your music is just the feeling, the raw feeling of it, right? And it brought me back to it. I mean, there's like a word play. I don't know if like just the name of the song was part of this, but Fortunate Son, Fogelberg. I think about that time because it's just like the cultural change of the 60s. And it just had an element, man. It just had that element of that era in this tune. Obviously different vocal style and all that stuff, but it had that drama. It had that feeling to me. And you must have some influences from that era that kind of.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I was brought up with the Beatles and the Who from the 60s.
Right.
But, I still, right up to the Killers and Green Day, in this century. But with this album, I had a goal to make every song a song where the characters, and these are characters singing each part, each song, pour their hearts out in each song. And that was one of the goals that I had for each song, which helps me write, because now I know what I'm doing. I'm having each song about love or growth of a love story from beginning to end. Character building, the interplay between the two characters, and each song, they pour their hearts out. And that's what I'm trying to accomplish.
Dude, I think that's awesome how deep you look at from a lyrical standpoint. I mean, it's like your background is finance and everything, but I mean, you've been in the music scene for so long, and I just think it's cool that you just kind of, I don't know, blend and separate those worlds at times. But Gerry, dude, we got to move. We're gonna have to have you back because we got like 5 minutes left in the show, and we got 2 songs to play. But thank you for coming by. Real quick, where can people find you online?
UniversalDice.com is our website, and we're also on the Facebook page, Universal Dice.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. All right, dude. So we're going to move on to the next tune. I believe we have 2 more. The next song, again, another song from Rhonda, Vincent, and Richard Lynch. I believe it's Back in Love Again. Thank you, Rob. Swing it.
From the start, I won't lose my heart again.
You were so kind at a time when I needed a friend. Somewhere the friendship ended and love began. You're the reason I'm back in love again. You turned on the charm, twisted my arm with love. You were the girl from a world I've been dreaming of. Baby, there's something you gotta understand. You're the reason I'm back in love again. Back in love again. Saying things I never thought I'd say again. You gave me a feeling I hope will never end. You're the reason I'm back in love again. This time around, we found love to last.
All right, that was Back in Love Again by Rhonda, Vincent, and Richard Lynch, of course. So yeah, so we've played one of their tunes. I believe it was, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks ago. And so, man, I had to look up just a better definition of bluegrass. I just went and looked it up just so it makes sense to people. The whole country scene, like you've said, you and I have said so often, is not one of our top 10 genres or anything, but like bluegrass, I mean, the definition according to the Wikipedia is, you know, roots music that's influenced by music of Appalachia. It has roots in Irish, Scottish, English, traditional music, and then it has jazz elements and obviously country. So Rhonda Vincent, she just won the 2018 Grammy for bluegrass album, which is so, I just think it's so awesome that they've submitted their music to us, and it's big deal to me, man. Yeah. And so I just listening to this tune again, like I just released my whole like affiliation with whether it's country or not, and whether I like country, because man, their vocals are just overall so strong. God, they're just like such great singers, and love her voice so much. Is nice and deep, nice solid. It's like they mix together. It's just, how can you not enjoy listening to that song, regardless of whether you like, you know, country or bluegrass or anything? I mean, what do you think, Joe?
I think we should go to the next song because Rob's about ready to shit his pants here. So, a band from, or not a band, but a duo from Switzerland, man. Söderquist and Björn Skifs. Let us know what you think. The comments are going to be right back. And then we're going to wrap up the show because Rob's going to go.
Hear a voice, a silent prayer, crying out in despair. Some words are better left unspoken.
Never thought this day would come. Believed you were the only one. Now I learned a lifetime in a second.
Try to be the believer that I always been.
You lied to me. It's time to see this through.
'Cause if you say you're sorry for all the hurt you've done, you wouldn't change a thing or make it all undone. Another day is dawning, another reason why I made my peace, and now I'm telling you goodbye.
All right, so that was Nina Söderquist and Björn Skifs. Actually, two really big stars in their own right in Switzerland. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of them here in America, but those two are actually pretty big stars over in Switzerland. I've seen a lot of videos of them, and they're really popular. So anyway, they are there's another. We have a review of them on the website as well. I feel really pressured because we have to stop now. But
yeah, we got like 30 seconds.
The show on this off night. Dave, let me know what you think of these guys really quickly.
30 seconds, yeah, tops. I'm glad you said that they were like big stars in their own right. That's what it felt like. It felt like they were like maybe later in their career and they, you know, ex rock stars. I mean, that's what their voices sound similar to the Rhonda Vincent duo. They just huge production. I was thinking like a Tom Cruise movie, like a love scene, and this song is playing or something. Man, this is very impressive. Very in just big production. Dug it.
So I want to just thank everybody for showing up tonight. Run through some names of some people. Jared Padone, Ninth Floor Mannequin, Juan Cabrera, Kenneth Hawks, David Schmidt, Stephen Hebert, John Edwards, Matt Speck, Jumping Matt, Jeff Ott, Amari, I'm sorry, Jason, Robbo, Christine Gina, Frederick Conrad, Aaron Robinson, Mike Catoni, Tim Yoder, Don McClellan, Missy Braun, Melanie Weiser, AJ Miller, Bob Woodstock, Nicola. A lot of people came in tonight.
Juan Cabrera.
And Dave's going to go get a tan. Rob's going to go produce another show. We're on an off night. Normally we're on Tuesday nights, 10 o'clock Eastern time on our Facebook channel and YouTube channel. Periscope's coming back, and we're also going to be trying out D Live in the near future. So everybody have a great night. Thanks for joining us on this weird night. Gerry Dantone of UniversalDice as well. Make sure you check out their music. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you regular time next week, Tuesday, 10 o'clock Eastern. Peace.